What up, what up, what up, what up? Welcome back to another episode of AC Reviews the World. I'm your host, AC the Engineer, and we are back. We are at episode 65. Yep. Always moving up, always can never miss. I've said this before, but probably starting in December, I might start streaming every single day. I might switch it up to not every day, but every Monday through Friday. Stream every Monday through Friday, special occasions on Saturday. And then, but that'd probably be in the afternoons, probably 6 to 7, probably an hour every day, because there's news that we got to cover that's come out every single day. And we got to review the world together, y'all. We have to review the world together. Like always, if you disagree with anything I said, please let me know. Leave a comment. Let's have a discussion about it, a civilized discussion. I'm always interested in hearing other people's points and hearing other people's perspectives. Like if you have anything you want me to review, remember you can send it over to my email. It's acreviewstheworld@gmail.com, a dot after the A and a dot after the C. Yeah. But without further ado, you know what I like to do? I like to get right into it. Let's get right into it. The first thing we're going to cover today, we got a typhoon. We have a typhoon over in the Philippines. Yes, we have a typhoon in the Philippines. Oh, get rid of that. We got a typhoon that hits the Philippines, and the death toll is high. The death toll is very high, over 100. We'll get the exact numbers in the video, but absolutely crazy. You can never underestimate Mother Nature. Let's get over into it. We got 3 videos to look at, so let's jump into it and see what we can learn from this situation. Absolutely tragic. End of the day, we just gotta pray for everybody. We gotta pray for everybody and pray for the world. But let's get into it, see what we can learn. Get into it.
Vietnam is bracing for the arrival of the powerful typhoon Kalmaegi as it heads towards its eastern coast. The storm thrashed the Philippines on Wednesday, where it caused widespread flooding and led to the deaths of more than 140 people, making it the deadliest storm this year in any part of the world.
Entire neighborhoods in Cebu province were washed away by Typhoon Kalmaegi. Hundreds of thousands were forced to flee their homes. And many are now in makeshift shelters such as this one. Some residents lost relatives to the flooding.
My sister was inside her room. We tried to pry the door open, but we couldn't. We tried to open it with a kitchen knife, a crowbar and wood, but it wouldn't budge. I tried punching the door, but it still wouldn't open. We tried until the water got really high. It reached over our heads.
This man is returning to his house to assess the damage. He and his family escaped the typhoon. But his home is gutted and his car's gone.
We haven't eaten for 2 days. My children are in shock. They're traumatized and unresponsive. One's 14 and the other is 18. They were traumatized by the experience. It's our first time encountering anything like this.
Absolutely tragic. Absolutely tragic. You survive the storm, but then you come back, your kids are traumatized. Your house is completely destroyed. It's an awful sight. But let's keep going.
While massive recovery efforts continue in the Philippines, Typhoon Kalmaegi is moving on towards Vietnam. Residents on Vietnam's eastern coast are preparing for Kalmaegi to make landfall. Authorities have ordered thousands to evacuate.
I watched TV and saw what this typhoon did to the Philippines. It scared me.
Kalmaegi is expected to bring powerful storm surges to Vietnam, which could compound the damage caused by recent devastating floods.
We're joined now by Ella Mage, a freelance journalist who is in the Philippines capital, Manila. Ella, thank you for your time today. Let's talk about, first of all, the people in the Philippines. What do they need most right now? What kind of situation are they facing?
Well, although some basic services like electricity are back to some areas, many are still struggling to find potable water. People from Cebu woke up to the massive mud and debris and cleaning up of their homes this morning and trying to find their missing loved ones. Some residents have been trying to look under debris and go from evacuation center to evacuation center, hoping some of their family members to be found. And because there are still reportedly more than 70 people missing according to local authorities, and this is just in Cebu alone.
So situations like a lack of electricity and water, but of course, more importantly, missing people, missing loved ones. Talk to us about how the authorities are able to help people. What is the biggest challenge for the authorities right now?
Well, the challenge right now for authorities is how widespread this calamity is. You know, we just had two earthquakes, massive earthquakes last month. So they are stretched thin in terms of personnel. Philippines, of course, is an archipelago. So search and recovery is quite one of the biggest challenges right now, as well as putting back basic or essential services like electricity and water. And another challenge, too, is that there is another typhoon coming over the weekend, Typhoon Fungwong, which is expected to be on the same path or in northern Philippines or in the same trajectory as Kalmaegi.
So
another typhoon right after. And they said they had two earthquakes, really bad earthquakes in the month before. And this is something I didn't even hear about. It's crazy what's happening around the world, that some of the things we just don't see because it's not in our algorithm. Absolutely crazy. Let's keep going.
With this new, stronger storm, I believe, headed towards the Philippines, how are people going to cope? I mean, I believe many have been evacuated or in shelters. How will they deal with this?
So Typhoon Fungwong is on track to enter Philippines this weekend. It is expected to hit either northern Philippines or the same path as Kalmaegi. President Ferdinand Marcos already declared the country in a state of national calamity, which will release funds faster in emergencies such as these. So Filipinos, though, are still wondering if they themselves should stay inside evacuation centers or leave and clean up their homes, go to work and move on with their lives. So for most of them, now the question for authorities also remains whether people should just stay inside already in very crowded evacuation centers.
Ella Mage, freelance journalist in Manila.
Absolutely crazy. Absolutely tragic. Let's get over into this next video where we get an idea of, because this video mentioned a death toll up to 140. I believe the death toll now is at least 180. So let's get over into it.
And at least 188 people are confirmed dead after a powerful typhoon in the Philippines. The storm dropped more than a month's worth of rain in less than 24 hours, causing devastating flash flooding. Now the Philippines is bracing for yet another major storm. ABC News foreign correspondent Britt Clennett has the latest. Hi, Britt.
Diane, Southeast Asia gripped by one of the deadliest storms this year. Typhoon Kalmaegi ripped through the Philippines, killing more than 188 people. Over 100 people are still missing. Now, the destruction there made worse by severe flash flooding. Heavy downpours too, dropping more than a month's worth of rain in less than a day in parts of the central Philippines. The typhoon bringing heavy downpours too and powerful winds to Vietnam and Cambodia. Nowhere has been hit harder than the Philippines, though. That was the 20th storm of the season, and to make matters worse, another one is on its way. It could slam the northern part of the country by this Sunday, with forecasters warning it could also hit the densely populated area around Manila. Now, the Philippine president already issuing a warning of calamity for this new typhoon, which is now on its way. Diane?
Absolutely crazy. So the death toll has gotten to at least 188 people, and then it's expected there's still 100 people missing. So the death toll is most likely expected to rise. And to make matters even worse, another storm is coming. So let's keep going. We got one more video to look at. So let's get over into it.
The floodwaters may be receding in Vietnam, but the road to recovery stretches far ahead.
Many houses had their roofs blown off, and there's no water or electricity.
The typhoon knocked out power to 1.6 million people. Now teams, including soldiers, are working to restore it. Army personnel have also been called in to help with rescue efforts, but the damage and human cost to Vietnam is still being revealed.
The waves were higher than the roof, around 7 metres, 2 stories tall.
This 26-year-old shrimp farmer says his business has been wiped out.
I have nothing left except what I'm wearing. I'm empty-handed.
Further along the coast, desperate locals pick through what remains of their fishing village. Dozens of homes were destroyed when huge waves pounded the coastline.
The waves were too high. I have no idea where we'll live. There's nothing I can do.
Low-lying areas were swamped, leaving smashed fishing boats and debris littered through the streets. Vietnam's Disaster Management Agency reported damage to almost 3,000 homes. The task ahead has left communities reeling in despair.
My house has withstood previous storms. This time it took the whole house and everything in it.
And the region faces a fresh alert, with Typhoon Phung Wong strengthening at sea as it heads towards the Philippines. Jenny Lavelle, ABC News.
Absolutely crazy situation. There's an absolutely crazy situation going. It's a tragic situation. We got to pray for them. Hopefully that other countries, just like Jamaica, come together to give aid, to provide aid for them, because it's absolutely tragic. Absolutely tragic. But let's do a recap. So Typhoon Kalmaegi, I'm not good at names, you already know that, but the typhoon that just hit the Philippines, at least 188 people died, 100 people missing, and another typhoon is on the way to strike, most likely the same path, but still hit the Philippines. Absolute crazy, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on that situation. At the end of the day, y'all, we got to pray. We got to pray for them. We got to pray for everybody around the world. And this is something we need to be looking at. I haven't heard anything about this. I didn't even know that they was experiencing tragic earthquakes that they said that they experienced 2 times just this month or just last month. Absolutely tragic. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. It's a crazy world, but we got to review the world together, y'all. We have to review the world together. Absolutely crazy. Now we got to pivot. We got to pivot over into the Elk Grove bar shooting. So we got, there was a woman arrested, but I believe the shooter is still on the run. The shooter is still on the run. But we got surveillance footage looking inside of there. So let's get over into it and see what we can learn from this situation. We have 3 videos to look at. So let's get 3 videos to look at. So let's get over into it and see what we can learn from this situation. Absolutely tragic, but we got to review the world together, y'all. We have to review the world together. Let's get into it.
New at 10, dramatic surveillance video showing people running for cover following a shooting that left one person dead and 3 hurt inside an Elk Grove bar. And tonight, the search is on for that gunman. Good evening. Thanks for joining us for the CBS 13 News at 10. I'm Steve Large. Your reporter covering Sacramento County, Tori Apodaca, is live in Elk Grove with more of that heart-pounding video and the investigation so far. Tori.
Steve, the bar here has been closed all day long as police continue to search for that shooting suspect. It all unfolded just a few minutes before closing time. We're about to show you some surveillance video capturing those scary moments. Surveillance video showing dozens of people running for their lives just moments after shots were fired inside Z-Town Asian Gastro Bar. Cars sped off from the scene as first responders rushed in to help, carting in a gurney, finding 3 men were shot, 1 dead at the scene. They later discovered a 4th victim drove himself to the hospital.
Oh, wow. I'm shocked. Right now, the more I see, the more nervous, shaking I would be.
Amanda Tang says this is a first. She's owned the donut shop next door for 20+ years. Her husband was inside the shop making the donuts for the day when everything went down.
During the weekend, the next door, the Z-Town, is pretty loud. The music pretty loud.
That's why she doesn't think her husband heard the gunshots. He had the front door locked as usual until his coworker showed up at around 5 a.m. to open the shop.
Yeah, the reality is this is a tragedy that should not have happened.
Sergeant Jason Jimenez with the Elk Grove Police Department says this is the 5th homicide of the year in the city.
Do you know if that bar has any bouncer checks?
They said that's the 5th homicide of the year. This November. That doesn't sound like a crazy stat to me. I mean, maybe I'm just desensitized to what I've seen around the world, but 5th homicide this year doesn't sound like a crazy stat. I might have misheard, but yeah, let's keep going.
At the door?
I don't know what security measures they have in place.
Jimenez says there were 2 security guards on the scene when investigators arrived, but what exactly led up to the gunfire, that's still unknown.
It's pretty safe. We never have any problem at all up until now. It's very scary.
A Saturday night out in Elk Grove, ending with deadly gunfire and customers running for cover.
Now, we all know what kind of situation it was, most likely. Someone getting into an argument, someone losing the argument, someone not wanting to fight with their hands. They'll pull up a gun, some kind of disagreement. It's always something like that. Always something like that. Could have been even over a girl. We got a lot of ideas of what could have caused it. Yeah. They say it's not the same, but it's crazy people everywhere. It's crazy people everywhere. Let's finish up this video.
Police have still given us no suspect description at this time. We did also speak with the owner here who didn't want to comment until they spoke with their lawyers.
And that video really does paint a very scary picture. Incredible that 4 people were hit, but not more than that. Okay, Tori Apodaca.
Absolutely crazy. Let's get over into this next video. And it looks like we're going to get over into a woman. So let's get over into a woman arrested.
New information tonight in that deadly shooting at Elk Grove's Z-Town Gastropub. Investigators confirming the incident this past weekend stemmed from an argument between one suspect, Roderick Randall, and one of the victims. We also learned...
What did I say? I said it's... We had an idea what it's about. Argument or disagreement. Come on now. We understand. We use critical thinking skills over here. We know the situation is going to put us in... It's going to lead to this. But let's keep going. Let's keep going.
That this woman has now been arrested by detectives known as Randall's girlfriend. This is 25-year-old Tao Tran. She was arrested yesterday for being an accessory to the crime. Tran was booked at the Sacramento County Main Jail and is ineligible for bail. Roderick Randall is still on the run this afternoon. Here he is. There were 4 shooting victims. 1 person died, 2 are expected to survive, and 1 does remain in critical condition at the hospital. Police say they still do not know the relationship between Randall and those shooting victims. Just this afternoon, we learned that Randall was convicted of 4 counts of attempted premeditated murder back in 2014 for a 2012 gang-related shooting in South Sacramento. But even though he was sentenced to 88 years to life, because of a change in law, his convictions were overturned and dismissed. He was released from prison in 2023.
All right, this is the last video we're going to get into. We're going to learn about the 18-year-old who died in the Elk Grove shooting, but you heard what they just said. He was convicted back in 2014 of attempted murder, supposed to get 88 years, but then a change in law got him overturned. Sometimes I don't understand our justice system. I truly don't. But let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's get into this next video. Like I said, this is about the 18-year-old who was killed in the Elk Grove shooting.
New tonight, a second person has died after a shooting at the Z-Town Gastro Pub in Elk Grove. Police said a 34-year-old man died at the hospital from his injuries. The alleged shooter still on the run tonight.
All this comes as friends of the other victim, 18-year-old Kim Ka-Huin, are outraged about why the suspected gunman was out on the streets in the first place.
Your reporter covering Sacramento County, Tori Apodaca, joins us in studio now, getting answers on that and reaction from the victim's friends, Tori.
That's right, Tony and Marley. I just spoke with friends of the 18-year-old victim. They all went to high school together in San Jose. You can see a photo of him here. Dealing with his death is difficult enough, but as we learn more about the suspect's criminal record and why he wasn't behind bars, it's even harder for them.
He always had a smile on him, or he would light up the room.
This is the face of 18-year-old Jae Kim Ka-Huin, who was shot to death inside an Elk Grove Korean bar, in the face of his suspected shooter, 43-year-old Roderick Randall, who is still on the run. Cameras captured some of the chaotic moments as a gunfire rang out inside Z-Town. 4 men shot, 2 survived, and 2 killed. I spoke with 2 of Huin's closest friends from high school.
As soon as I heard about it, I thought they were lying.
They say they're still in shock over what happened, and that days later, the suspect is still on the loose. We're learning Randall had been in and out of prison for the past 20-plus years. He was convicted for sexual acts with a child and pimping of a minor in 2003, and paroled after serving his full sentence. Convicted of first-degree burglary in 2006 and again paroled, and then sentenced to 88 years to life in prison in 2014 for 4 counts of attempted premeditated murder for a 2012 gang shooting. But he was released in 2023.
If it had not.
And this is the man they released. Based on those charges, he should have. Some people don't deserve to be out here with the public. Simple as that. Some people don't deserve to be out here with regular, good civilians. They're just trying to have a good time. Absolutely crazy. Let's keep going.
Been for this law change, the suspect Randall would not have been out of prison yet.
Correct. Justin Ward, a local criminal defense attorney unrelated to the case, says the 2019 criminal justice reform laws eliminated the same sentencing for people who are accomplices to murder and attempted murder cases if they never had the intent to kill. Court documents detailing the judge's decision to release Randall.
Fortunate that someone who was given a second chance at life decided to waste that opportunity.
This makes me shift my whole idea on who they're trying to really help in the state, the criminals or the victims.
Good point. He's got a good point. He's understandable that he's upset. I wonder how the judge feels. That is my question. How does the judge feel knowing that he said, oh yeah, well, maybe he was, no. How does the judge feel? I want to know the judge who will let him get released. How does he feel? Let's keep going, though. Let's keep going.
Now they're left grieving their 18-year-old friend's death, a victim to gun violence.
I don't want him to be forgotten.
With a prior convicted felon suspected of pulling that trigger.
And I hope that this could shed light on new things,
Now, Elk Grove PD arrested 25-year-old Tao Tran as an accessory to this deadly shooting. They are still searching for Roderick and say he is armed and dangerous.
Armed and dangerous. So, you already know, let's go back through what we've learned from this situation. Let's go back through what we've learned. First things first, 2 people have died, 4 people have been injured. And the woman who's considered the accomplice has been arrested. And the man who's supposed to be the shooter, or who is suspected of being the shooter, is still on the run. And he is a convicted criminal whose stuff got overturned to where he should have been in jail, but he wasn't. All of this could have been prevented. We got to be honest about it. All of this could have been prevented. The same man that they said, oh, well, I guess maybe they was following the law because the law got overturned, but I think the judge can be like, well, I don't think that, I don't know, man. It's a crazy world, y'all. It's a crazy world. Let me know your thoughts on this situation. Could the judge have just said, okay, well, even though the laws changed, I don't think that you deserve to be out here with the public? But do you think his hands was tied? He had to do it. Or do you think he just didn't think about the consequences of letting this man go free? Absolutely crazy, y'all. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. It's a crazy world we live in. It's a crazy world we live in. But we got to review the world together. We have to review the world together. Now we're going to pivot. We got to pivot over into some heavy stuff. Heavy stuff. New York has been going through some heavy stuff. A lot of sexual assaults. We got to be honest about it. So let's get over into it. We're going to pivot over into, it looks like, a rapist who was out on bond rapes again. Yes, I said it. We just talked about judges letting these people get bond. Maybe they don't have a choice. Maybe I think the judge can overturn anything. He could be like, well, it's up to their judgment. That's what I think. But I might be wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. But let's get over into it. Like I said, we're going to get over into this. It looks like a 15-year-old was lured online, sexually assaulted, and held captive. This was over in the Bronx. So let's get over into it and see what we can learn from this situation. It's a tragic scene. But let's see what we can find out.
Now to a very disturbing story out of the Bronx. A man is now under arrest for allegedly using social media to lure a teenage girl from New Jersey to his apartment where he repeatedly raped her.
And as terrible as that is alone, there is more. The NYPD says he had been arrested before for the same type of horrific act in Manhattan and was out on bail awaiting his sentencing when police say he struck again. Now, police put out this mugshot asking for any other potential victims to come forward.
Eyewitness News reporter Marcus Solis is live in the Belmont section with the very latest on this very disturbing investigation. Marcus.
And Liz and Dave, first to that incident last year that the suspect was awaiting sentencing on involved a 15-year-old girl, somehow deemed to be consensual. And so the suspect pled guilty only to a misdemeanor. This time, the charges are far more serious, and police believe there could be additional victims.
I could tell something was not right, and then she goes,
So the first victim was a 15-year-old too? Did they say how old he was? I want to know how old he was. And then they said it was consensual.
Daughter's missing, and she started telling the story.
A terrifying story that ended with police rescuing a 15-year-old girl from the suspected serial predator holding her captive. 24-year-old William Creedle is charged with luring the teen he met online to this building where he allegedly drugged, raped, and beat her.
It's shocking to hear something like this could happen right next to my office.
Fulvia Anacasio was approached in her business by the girl's mother, who discovered the teen had left their home in New Jersey Monday night. By early Tuesday, the girl's parents tracked their daughter's tablet to Hughes Avenue in the Belmont section and began searching.
I could see it in their face. Yeah, they was desperate to know her whereabouts, you know. So that's when I just said, well, I could look around.
Hours later, the NYPD knocked down the apartment door, inside which they say they found drugs and guns. Creedle's rap sheet includes other violent crimes and sex-related offenses.
I'm happy to hear that the daughter's safe, probably traumatized, shocked, but at least she survived.
What do these judges think? Come on now, what do these judges think? They let him out on bond. They gave him bond. They break it. They do the same crime. I love and hate our justice system sometimes. I truly love and hate it. Sometimes I'm happy with how they do it. Sometimes I'm horrified with what they're thinking. And I can't fathom it. But let's keep going. After this, we got to get into an article.
Well, again, police concerned there could be additional victims, which is part of the reason why the suspects photographed, released. Anyone with any information is urged to call Crime Stoppers. And we're live in the Belmont section of the Bronx. Marcus.
Absolutely crazy, y'all. Absolutely crazy. Now, let's get over into this article and see what else we can learn from this situation. We're going to go over to the New York Post. Let's get over to the New York Post. So, on September 21st, 2001, he was charged with assault for allegedly punching his mom. What is this? Hold on. Yeah, we back. I was about to say we went way too far. So the same dude. So we'll get into it. A 24-year-old Bronx creep allegedly lured a 15-year-old girl he met online to his apartment and repeatedly assaulted her, prosecutors said. Less than 2 years after he was charged with a similar crime and released on the condition he underwent mental health treatments. Mental health treatments, yes. William Cradle, who met the victim on Instagram, even sent a lift to pick her up. Y'all gotta be careful with y'all daughters. They will send cars to pick them up, and then they gonna lie to you about where they going. The victim in New Jersey and dropped her off at his apartment in Belmont, where he allegedly beat and repeatedly sexually assaulted her. Prosecutors charged. Upon her arrival, the defendant brought the complaint to his apartment, took her into the bedroom, and put away his black firearm, pushed her forward into the bed, removed both his and her underwear, and while she cried, "No, stop." Bronx prosecutor, they said in court. He then had the victim smoke marijuana and drink Snapple bottles containing liquid tasting orange soda with a strange aftertaste. The victim described feeling woozy, dizzy, tired, and nauseous after drinking the substance. She said that Cradle allegedly molested her, the teen, several times throughout the night after hiding her tablet. Her only means of communication with the girl repeatedly playing "I Want to Go Home." Prosecutors said it wasn't the first time this monster allegedly pulled off a sick attack on a minor. Cradle pleaded guilty in April last year to sexual misconduct and sexual abuse in a similar attack in 2023. The defendant, then 21-year-old, sent an Uber to a 14-year-old girl who transported, so he has the same MO, who transported by Uber to his apartment, and he forced her to engage in, y'all see what it says. The complainant alleged that he had drugs and guns in his apartment. The alleged serial rapist was then stunningly released on the condition that he seek mental health and rehabilitation treatment. What is wrong? What is with judges and saying, "Oh, they can do some of these people can't be rehabilitated"? I mean, that's my thinking. If you do something sick like this, it's hard. I don't think you can be rehabilitated. But if you disagree, let me know. If you disagree, let me know. But the perp violated the terms of the program when he failed to appear in court for mandatory check-in, and warrants were issued for his arrest. He then allegedly assaulted his second victim while under the apparent active warrant. Cradle, who has a history of violent assault, had also previously skipped out on court appearances four times. According to law enforcement sources, he was busted in April 26, 2022 for allegedly threatening his 36-year-old mother with a knife. And he was arrested a year earlier on charges that he tried to strangle his 13-year-old brother in the Bronx family apartment. On September 21st, 2021, he was charged with assault for allegedly punching his mother, who was 35 at the time, in the head. No, back up. We can't go too far. On Thursday, Judge Hayward ordered Cradle held on $50,000 bail, despite a request from the DA that he be locked up on $200,000 bail pending a court date on November 18th. So 50. Remember, y'all, you only gotta have 10% of that. 10% of that. So he got to come up with $5,000 to get out instead of the $20,000 that they wanted him. Meanwhile, Cradle's lawyer Abigail argued that he was not a flight risk, just mentally ill. Mr. Cradle does not pose a risk or flight to avoid prosecution, yet he's skipped out on court a couple times before. Okay, I understand. She told the judge, "I am aware of his failures to appear on his record and the warrant before your honor. And the reason he missed court in the past was because he was fleeing prosecution. Not because he was fleeing prosecution, because he was exceedingly mentally ill. If he's he still needs to be locked. I don't want to hear that. I'll be honest, I don't want to hear mentally ill. I think he needs to be locked up. I mean, that's just simple as it is. I think he needs to be locked up. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't want to hear any of that. Locked up, no bail. But they probably won't do that. Because even the prosecution didn't even ask for no bail. So maybe they can't. Or maybe, I don't know. I don't know. It's a crazy world. Let me know your thoughts on that whole situation. These judges, sometimes you think these judges should be charged for how they do this, but maybe their hands are tied behind the law. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts and let me know if you disagree with anything I said. Now, this is in New York, in the Bronx. But we got to go over to Brooklyn. We got to go over to Brooklyn because we got to go over to Brooklyn. Because in Brooklyn, we have a 12-year-old who was sexually assaulted in the lobby of an apartment. Yes, I said it. A 12-year-old. Let's get over into it. We got 2 videos to look at. So let's get over into it and see what we can find out. We got 2 videos and then we're going to go into an article. So let's jump over into it and see what we can learn from this situation. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let's jump into it. It's a crazy world we live in, but we got to review the world together, y'all. We have to review this stuff together. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy.
To other stories we're following in Brooklyn, police investigating a disturbing case in East Williamsburg. Officers say a 12-year-old girl was sexually assaulted inside the lobby of an apartment building. Eyewitness News reporter Phil Tate is live in East Williamsburg with the details for us. Good morning, Phil.
Shirley, good morning. This is truly just a disturbing story that we're following, and that says cops this morning are on the search for the person who had sexually assaulted a 12-year-old girl here at the Cooper Park houses around 5:45 yesterday evening. The crime scene unit was on hand. Let's get straight to that video. They were here working well into the evening hours here on Morgan Avenue, collecting anything that might have been left behind, including forensic evidence, as their investigation is still underway. Now, cops say this 12-year-old girl was attacked by a stranger in the lobby and stairwell area before the suspect got away. The person that they're looking for this morning is described as a man in his 20s, 5'6", with brown eyes and black hair. Now, that 12-year-old girl was taken to a local hospital and is listed in stable condition this morning. Anyone with any information that can help with the police's investigation, you are urged to give them a call.
There are some sick freaks in this world. Sick freaks. We got to be honest. They're sick freaks. Protect your kids. Be there for your kids. Because they don't care that they're kids. They don't care that they're little girls. No matter if they weren't, it's an awful crime in general. But these people don't deserve to be out here in the pup. They need to be in jail for life. We got to be honest. They need to be in jail for life. Let's get over into this next video. Let's get over into it.
Well, tonight, a Brooklyn mother in shock and pleading for help and trying to find the man who attacked her daughter. That stranger walked into her apartment building in the middle of the afternoon and raped her 12-year-old daughter in a stairwell. Cops released this photo of the suspect. It was about this time yesterday. They say that he cornered that little girl inside a building at NYCHA's Cooper Park houses. Eyewitness News reporter Lindsay Tuckman spoke with that girl's mother exclusively, and she's live with her story in East Williamsburg tonight. Lindsay, I cannot imagine what this family is dealing with tonight.
Yeah, Mike, talking to the victim's mother was very emotional, and this story clearly is very upsetting. And as you can imagine, people in the community are on edge and really just wanting answers after police say an unknown man raped, sexually assaulted a 12-year-old girl who was just heading home. A group hug Friday morning as police continue the hunt for a man they say raped a 12-year-old girl in East Williamsburg. Her mother, whose identity we've decided to protect, with a desperate plea.
Just hope he get caught. I just hope he just come turn himself in. Like, my daughter is only 12.
It happened around 5:45 p.m. Thursday at the city-run Cooper Park houses. Police say a stranger went into a lobby in one of the buildings and grabbed the 12-year-old as she walked in, pushed her to the ground in a nearby stairwell, and then raped her before running away. Surveillance video shows the suspect at a nearby laundromat. Police say the victim said she'd never seen him before. The young girl was treated at the hospital and is recovering. As for the emotional toll, her mother, horrified this could happen to her happy child.
She dances. She cares about her friends a lot. Good grades in school.
And neighbors sickened. They hope to see better safety measures moving forward.
No parent should have to go to that, see their child go through that. No one, you know? And it's really sad, though. You know what I'm saying? And the way crime is, and here and everything, crime is not going down. Crime is going up.
Now I'm finding out that it's a child. My daughter even told me, you know what, Mom? NYCHA got some problems in their hands now.
All right, so take a look again at those surveillance photos provided by police. We did show the images to the victim's mother as well as neighbors here, and no one said that they recognized him. So police are hoping that someone will recognize him from that photos to help keep children in this neighborhood safe. Live in East Williamsburg.
Absolutely crazy, y'all. Absolutely crazy. Now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I saw that they have actually caught the suspect. So let's get over and let's see if that. You know, we can always find that. Yep. So let's get over into it. Man wanted out there. So let's get over into it. Looks like just a short video. Let's get into it. So he has been caught. So let's get over.
And we start tonight with the breaking news happening in Brooklyn. Police have arrested a suspect in the shocking rape of a 12-year-old girl. 27-year-old Eric McMichael kept his head down as police walked him out of the precinct tonight. He was taken into custody this afternoon. He's charged with rape, burglary, sexual abuse, and endangering the welfare of a child. McMichael is accused of raping this child Thursday evening in the stairwell of the Cooper Park houses in East Williamsburg.
Absolutely crazy. Let's get over into an article where you can break out a little bit more about this. Absolutely crazy. Let's get over into it. Let me zoom in some so everybody can see, so you can all see what we're looking at. So a man has been arrested and charged in the sexual assault of a 12-year-old girl inside of an apartment in East Williamsburg, Brooklyn. It happened in the lobby in Cooper Park houses around 5:45 p.m. Police say Eric McMichael, 27, went into the lobby in one of the buildings and grabbed a 12-year-old as she was walked in, pushed her to the ground into a nearby stairwell, and assaulted her. The young girl was taken to a nearby hospital where she was physically doing okay, but mentally we know. Mr. Michael, who lives in a shelter, was arrested on charges on Friday. The victim's mother spoke to Eyewitness News and had one message: I just hope he's caught, and I hope he turns himself in. So he was caught. Her mother said that she's horrified that this could happen to her happy child. So let's get over into this next one. So a little bit more details about it. So police say they have arrested the man, the young girl. So this one part Neighbors said that they didn't recognize the man, but were horrified the young girl was attacked inside the place she calls home. A day later, just after 3:30 on Friday, police received a tip and arrested Eric McMichael in connection with the disturbing attack on the girl. The 27-year-old was charged with 2 counts of rape and sexual abuse, along with burglary and child endangerment. So McMichael has 4 prior convictions, according to police, including a rape in 2019, where he was also convicted of burglary that same year, plus grand larceny and burglary in 2023. Attorney's information for Michael is not immediately clear. Absolutely crazy. There are some crazy people in this world. There are some sick people in this world. We have to look after the people around us, the people closest to us. We have to look after them because the world is a cruel place. We got to be honest. The world can be a cruel place. It can be a great place, but it can be a cruel place. There are some people who don't care about others. Just look after your family, people. Look after your family. Look after your little kids. Look after the women. Look after your sons. Look after your friends. We just have to look after each other and review the world together. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on that situation. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. But some parents don't look after their kids. They don't. So that's why we got to pivot over into this next topic. It looks like a child has died during their mother's police chase, and she has been charged. So we got a few videos to look at for that. So let's get over into it and see what we can find out about this situation and what we can learn from it. Let's see what we can find out and learn from this situation. We have 3 videos to get to. So let's jump into it and get what we need and learn from this situation. Absolutely tragic. Absolutely tragic. Like I said, some parents don't look after their kids. Some parents don't look after their kids. But let's get into it.
Well, first tonight, a Sims woman facing multiple charges after a crash killed a boy believed to be her son.
And this is a story that we've been following throughout the day. Our Brendan Kirby back in the studio with your timeline.
And Brendan, police say this escalated quickly.
Yeah, that's right, Cameron, Lanice. They say that they initially wanted to talk to the woman about a report of a relatively minor crime, but they say it escalated to assault and then what turned out to be a deadly crash. This was the scene early Tuesday morning after an Infiniti SUV crashed into a light pole at the intersection of Schillinger and Howells Ferry Roads in Mobile after midnight. Police say a young boy died while another young boy was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Both are believed to be the children of Delisha Millette, who's now charged with manslaughter and faces additional charges of first-degree robbery, resisting arrest, assaulting a police officer, assault with bodily fluids, and eluding. Sims Police Chief Todd Friend says it started...
So assault with bodily fluids, I'm assuming she spit on him. That's one of the nastiest things I can think of, or could be something worse, but I'm thinking she spit on him. But at the end of the day, kids can't control their parents. All this, and she lost one of her kids, and one of them was injured. Let's keep going.
Monday afternoon, when an officer responded to the Publix for a report of a woman stuffing 3 or 4 items into her backpack.
When the officer confronted the suspect, she took off running. The officer caught up to her, and the struggle ensued. And she was able to get her hands, her fingers inside of the officer's eyes.
Chief Friend says Millette tried to gouge the officer's eyes and bit him before getting away. Investigators learned that the woman lives less than a mile away on Dyson Boulevard. After hours of searching, the chief says, police got a tip that she was at the house. He says Millette fled in her SUV and that an officer pursued but quickly broke off after learning that children were in the vehicle.
He slowed down, basically let her go. We can only assume why she kept driving at a high rate of speed.
Chief Friend says Millette had no active warrants and doesn't appear to have a criminal record. He says he has no idea why she would race at speeds exceeding 80 miles per hour over something so trivial.
Some people are stupid. Some people are horrible. She didn't. It wasn't even a crazy offense. At the end of the day, she would have got shoplifting charges. They would have banned her from the store. I'm assuming it wasn't anything where it would have been grand larceny. So she would have been free about her day after getting a ticket. I think so. I don't really know much about shoplifting charges, but I don't think they take you to jail unless it's something crazy. But let me know if I'm wrong about that. But she fled in the vehicle with 2 of her kids, driving crazy, erratically, ended up crashing. Let's finish up this video. Go on to the next.
You can't put people's lives at risk acting recklessly.
Chief Friend explains that the robbery charge stems from the original shoplifting report. He says that it's robbery because Millette threatened to use a weapon on an employee who had confronted her. She's in jail now and is expected to have a bond hearing in the morning. Reporting live in the news center.
So she probably would have went to jail if it was robbery and she threatened to use a weapon. Most likely would have went to jail. But now one of your kids is dead. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? But let's get over into this next video and see what else we can learn.
A woman who allegedly attacked an officer is now behind bars, charged in a crash in Mobile that killed one of her children. We have team coverage on the wreck, the arrest, and what led up to it all. We begin with WKRG News 5's Christina J. Harris joining us from the intersection of Schillinger Road at Howells Ferry Road. That is where police say the mother slammed into a pole. Christina.
Cherish, that pole where that crash took place is right behind me on a little island where folks merge from Schillinger Road onto Howells Ferry Road. Now, I'm going to take a step out of the shot to show you where that car crashed. There's still glass left on the ground. Numerous pieces of debris. There's even a dent, it looks like, in the pole where that car went into. The crash happened around 12:45 this morning here on Schillinger and Howells Ferry Road. Police say 34-year-old Delyicia Mollett was behind the wheel. Her 2 boys were also inside the car. Now, the one who survived is hospitalized with life injuries.
This was a sad incident that occurred this morning. It should never have happened. Once again, we don't know the complete circumstances as to why the mom was driving the way she was, or what she was running from, or where she was trying to go, or what she was thinking. But it's sad that a child has lost its life because of the action of an adult, the same person that's supposed to be there to protect them, and now that child is deceased because of it.
Moments before the crash, Sims police officers were chasing after Mollett, but those officers stopped the chase after seeing there were children in the car. Now, Mollett is charged with manslaughter, and jail records show that she is due in court tomorrow. Bond hearing. Live in Mobile, I'm Christina J. Harris, WKRG.
Absolutely crazy. Now, here's a question. Could she have taken the kids with her because she figured that they wouldn't chase her because she had kids in the car? That might just be my thinking, but is that a possibility? I would hope it wouldn't be, but it's something that I would like to, I want to think about, that I'm thinking about. Absolutely crazy. Let's keep going.
News 5.
Hours before the crash, the woman now in custody is accused of assaulting an officer who tried to arrest her for robbery. Our team coverage now continues with WKRG News 5's Clancy Callahan, who is at the Sims Police Department. Clancy, Mollett is accused of biting an officer there, and that is not all.
Yes, Cherish, a Sims police officer was injured trying to take Delyicia Mollett into custody, but that officer is now back at work. Police were called to this Publix on Schillinger Road in Sims around 12:30 yesterday afternoon to report Mollett for shoplifting. Sims Police Chief Todd Friend says Mollett told the workers she had a weapon, which upped her charge to robbery. An officer spotted Mollett walking along Silver Pines Road near the store, but the chief says she tried to run away. The officer caught up with her, but she fought him off.
She was able to get her fingers in the eyeballs of the officer and scratched his eyeballs, and was then able to bite one of his fingers to get away.
Millette lives about a mile from the store, but she wasn't at home when the officers first went there. They went back shortly after midnight, and that's when the officers spotted her.
That was a nice home. That was a nice home.
SUV driving down Schillinger. Millette is facing several assault charges in the alleged attack for the officer. Live in Sims, Clancy Callahan, WKR.
Absolutely crazy, absolutely crazy. Let's get over into this last video about this. I believe she is in court, so the judge denies.
A judge denies bail to a Sims woman facing manslaughter charges in the death of her child during a crash. During a bond hearing, Delisha Millette said she was not aware her 7-year-old was dead. The Mobile County DA's office says her other son, an 11-year-old, is in critical condition. The DA says both children were not restrained when the SUV collided with a light pole near Schillinger and House Ferry in Mobile. Police say Millette continued driving at more than 80 miles per hour, even after police broke off their pursuit. She'll have an arraignment tomorrow.
But right now we want to get to a big story.
Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy situation. I'm happy that they denied the bond. I believe that's what it said on this. Let's back that up a tad bit. Yeah, denies bail. Yes, denies bail. I'm happy that they denied the bail. It's a crazy situation, y'all. It's a crazy situation. Let me know your thoughts on that whole situation. Do you think that she put the kids in the car on purpose to try to make the police leave because she knew about that? Or is she just trying to flee with her kids? Why was she fleeing? There's a lot of questions. Looks like she was stealing at Publix. So was she stealing food? Were they hungry? Or maybe I'm just trying to come up with an excuse to maybe think the mother wasn't that bad. Or she could just be a horrible person. Let me know your thoughts on this whole situation, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on this whole situation. But at the end of the day, the child has died and the other one is seriously injured. So she has to face the punishment for her crimes. She has to face the punishment for her crimes. Absolutely crazy. Let me know your thoughts on that situation. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. Absolutely wild. But we got to pivot. We got to pivot over into, I don't know if y'all have seen it, but it looks like a housekeeper. A housekeeper was killed going to the wrong house. Yeah, looks like she pulled up to the wrong house. She was supposed to clean one house, but she went to the wrong one. And she was shot by by one of the people in the house. I don't know if it was the homeowner or not, but let's get over into it and see what we can learn from this situation. Will they be charged for this? That is the question. Will they be charged for this? But let's get over into it and see what we can learn from this situation, y'all. Let's get into it. Let's get right into it.
But right now we want to get to a big story here in central Indiana today. In Whitestown, a woman is dead after being shot outside a home this morning. Investigators have determined she was part of a crew reporting to work there, but they were at the wrong address when this shooting happened.
Fox 59's Claire Curry explains it was first reported as a possible home invasion before police arrived on scene to make this heartbreaking discovery.
I'm here in the Heritage neighborhood on Maze Lane, where a woman was shot and killed just before 7 a.m. this morning after showing up to work at the wrong house. Detectives determined that the victim was a part of a cleaning crew who had gone to the incorrect address. But the initial call to Whitestown police came in as a possible home invasion in the subdivision.
The gunshot came from inside the home, but I believe when they found the deceased female, she was on the front porch.
The woman was moved when first responders attempted to save her life, and a neighbor across the street witnessed the aftermath.
We never heard anything, but my wife was up early and she saw what seemed to be a deceased person in the street beside a van. She didn't know what happened or anything.
Police say that no evidence leads them to believe the woman ever entered the home. You can see a single bullet actually went through the front door. Investigators also recovered one firearm from the scene.
It shouldn't have happened, you know. Don't shoot first, ask questions later.
Police tell us several people were inside the home at the time of the shooting, and a man who was also a part of the cleaning crew was on the porch with the victim.
Answer the door, see who they are, see if they have the wrong house. Just don't sit here and take it upon yourself to shoot some innocent person coming to clean and make money.
Whitestown police are now working closely with the prosecutor's office to determine if the shooting was justified based on the evidence.
Now, here's a question. Now, I want to know how she actually went up to the door. I'm assuming that she might have had a key and tried to open it, but still, even in that situation, I would have been like, hello, who is this? I would have said something through the door, looked through the peephole, seen that I'm assuming, had a cleaning lady. She looked like a cleaning lady, had a mop and broom, something like that. Had some cleaning supplies. Or you see a cleaning van out front, something. But he shot first, then asked questions later, or didn't even ask a question. Let's keep going and finish up this video.
It is an active, ongoing investigation that our detectives are, at the moment, working very diligently on, just trying to unravel what exactly happened and, if applicable, what charges there would be.
Reporting in Whitestown, Claire Curry.
Absolutely crazy. Let's get over into this next video. See what else we can find out.
Tonight, we have new information on that deadly shooting in Whitestown this morning. A woman with a cleaning crew has now been confirmed as the victim of that shooting. Investigators determined that she was reporting to work but went to the wrong address.
Whitestown police are now working closely with the prosecutor's office to determine if charges will be filed based on the evidence. This evening, the family of the victim is mourning their matriarch, remembering her life while pleading for answers. Fox 59's Howard Monroe spoke to them about where they go from here.
A father grieves as he holds on to his daughter and clings to a picture of his wife. Maria Florinda Rios Perez was killed Wednesday morning as she reported to work. She was part of a cleaning crew but had the wrong address. Her husband, Mauricio Velasquez, was there at the time and says he held on to her until authorities arrived. He speaks to us through a translator.
For him, she was the love of his life. She was always nice, and she was a good wife and also a good mother to all 4 of her children.
The call initially came in as a home invasion, but Velasquez and Whitestown police say the woman never entered the home. Perez was shot and killed through the door, and Velasquez says he never saw who fired the shot. Perez leaves behind 4 children from 17 years old to an infant who is about to turn 1.
And for anyone who's watching, just to pray for them, for their family, because raising them is not going to be easy.
Whitestown. I'm not going to stop it too much, but I can't imagine the pain he's going through. Man didn't even see who killed his wife. Going there for a normal job. Absolutely crazy. Let's keep going.
Police are working with the Boone County Prosecutor's Office to determine if the shooting was justified.
They should have called the police first instead of just shooting out of nowhere like that. He says it's not good what they did. He shouldn't be taking lives of people like that because now he has to raise 4 daughters, baby, by himself.
And in addition to raising those 4 kids, Velasquez says he is now in the process of taking his wife back to her native Guatemala for her burial. Howard Monroe, Fox 59 News.
The coroner's office has just come.
Absolutely crazy. It's a tragic situation. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. They said that the prosecutors are trying to determine if they can even charge him or if they can be like your stand your ground law type of thing. If he can truly be like that. But he shot through the door. He probably didn't. I don't know, man. I don't think he should have shot. I think he should be charged. Especially if she was. I think she should have been charged. I think he should be charged. He or she, whoever the killer is.
Completed its autopsy of that woman tragically shot and killed in Whitestown.
That shooting happened early yesterday morning on Mays Lane. The coroner's office says 32-year-old Maria Florinda Rios Perez de Vasquez died from a gunshot wound to the head. There were still questions about that shooting and whether it was justified under law as of this morning. CBS 4's Jesse Wells spoke with the prosecutor to explain where the case will go from here.
The Boone County prosecutor told me today he still does not know whether or not criminal charges will be filed against the person who fired the fatal shot from inside this home. Multiple legal experts agree it's not an easy call, even though Indiana does have very strong self-defense laws.
He's demanding justice.
Speaking through a translator, Mauricio Velasquez recalls watching his wife, Maria Florinda Rios Perez, die after the pair showed up to a home here in Whitestown Wednesday morning. Police believe the couple worked as a cleaning crew and had gone to the wrong address when someone fired a single shot through the front door, killing the mother of 4.
They should have called the police first instead of just shooting out of nowhere like that. He says it's not good what they did.
While the initial call came in as a possible home invasion, police confirmed the victim never actually entered the home.
It's a horrible, horrible tragedy that this happened.
Former Johnson County prosecutor Joe Villanueva isn't connected to the case, but says Indiana's Castle Doctrine allows people wide latitude to protect their home without facing criminal charges.
The statute's pretty clear. You have a right to use deadly force to terminate unlawful entry into your dwelling.
So the Castle Doctrine means that basically you have a right to protect yourself within your residence.
Still, that use of deadly force does have to be reasonable, and shooting through a closed door leaves that up for debate. It's also not clear what the shooter knew or didn't know before they pulled the trigger.
I think it's going to be a tough case either way.
There's no real clear-cut winner on this. It's almost like a law school exam question. It's designed to have ambiguity.
As for a timeline, the prosecutor says no decision will be made until next week at the earliest. It's also possible the case could be sent to a grand jury to decide. Jesse Wells, CBS.
Absolutely, that is a crazy case. It is a crazy case because the Castle Doctrine, just like the, I'm not sure exactly the how similar, but in states in the South, stand your ground laws, very similar. I'm assuming either similar or the same kind of law, but a lot of questions, Did she just try to unlock the door because she had a key? If someone's fiddling with keys and I see them through the peephole with keys, I'm assuming he looked through the peephole. I would hope he looked through the peephole. He sees somebody fiddling with keys. I would think they got the wrong house. I would say something. If she just tried to open the door and just kept trying to open and push the door in, that's totally different. But I highly doubt that. Well, at least that's my thinking, because they're saying that she was a cleaning lady. And the husband wasn't even in front of the door at the time. So if anybody's going to try to push in the door, it's most likely going to be the husband. But it doesn't look like that's the scenario. I don't know if he'll be able to get away with this. I, for one, think that he was wrong in what he did, and he has to face the consequences for it. But more information might come out to where it changes my mind. We'll have to wait and see what more information comes out. It's a crazy story. Absolutely crazy. But end of the day, a woman lost her life. A husband is without his wife. 4 kids. Or 4 or 5 kids, like a lot of kids without their mother. It's a tragic story. It's a truly tragic story, and we got to pray for him. We got to pray for him. Then, if he is convicted, he needs to face his punishment. If the killer is convicted, he got to face his punishment. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on that situation. How do you feel about it? What do you think? Do you disagree with what I'm saying? Absolutely crazy, y'all. Absolutely crazy. Now we're going to pivot. We're going to pivot into the very last thing we're going to talk about today. We're going to go over to an Officer Connor Grubb. Officer Connor Grubb, who is on trial right now for killing of a pregnant woman in a Kroger parking lot. So we got a video to look at there. So we'll get over into that. And then we're going to get into an article about the situation so we can learn more about it. But let's get into it and see what we can learn from this situation. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy.
A packed gallery and emotional opening inside the Franklin County Courthouse for a case that's drawing national attention.
Connor Grubb was a coward that day. His fear was unreasonable, and he did not deserve to be a police officer.
Former officer Connor Grubb charged with murder in the shooting death of Takaya Young and her unborn child. In August 2023, Grubb shot and killed Young outside a Kroger after police accused her of shoplifting liquor. She was 7 months pregnant. Body camera video shows Young sitting in her car when Grubb fired a single shot through the windshield as Young's vehicle began to roll forward. Prosecutors claim Grubb's actions were unnecessary and unreasonable, saying Young was not an immediate threat.
The evidence shows that she was not running over the officer with her vehicle and that the shot fired by defendant was utterly unnecessary to defend himself.
While the defense showed the jury images from body camera video, arguing that Grubb had seconds to make a life or death decision as Young's car moved towards him, calling her vehicle a 3,500-pound deadly weapon.
Connor believed his life or others' lives were in danger of serious physical harm or death.
After opening statements, the jury left the courthouse and was taken to the parking lot to see where the incident happened. I'm standing in the parking lot of the Kroger where investigators say the confrontation between Officer Grubb and a pregnant Takaya Young turned deadly. As you can see, there are markers and caution tape visible in some areas. Earlier today, the jury doing a walkthrough of the area on this first day of the murder trial to see where those final fatal moments happened. Back in the courtroom, Young's family watched quietly. Her grandmother says this first day was hard, but necessary.
He was the immediate threat, and he escalated instead of de-escalated, and he didn't do the job that he was trained to do. And I just pray to God we get the justice we deserve for her and her babies.
Imani Payne.
It's a tragic situation. A woman lost her life. Man, we gotta pray for the family who's grieving. It's a complicated case. I'm not gonna lie, it's a complicated case. Let's back it up a tad bit.
Born child. In August 2023, Grubb shot and killed Young outside a Kroger after police accused her of shoplifting liquor. She was 7 months pregnant. Body camera.
Okay, so first thing first, I want to know why she didn't get out the vehicle. That is my question. I want to know why she didn't follow the... I'm assuming they were trying to detain her. I've always gone by the rule that if you feel like the cops are violating your rights, I would rather follow so I don't get my head cracked in. Follow the law, follow what they're telling me, and then take it up with my lawyers later. That way we can get through this situation. Okay, you can, whatever you're doing, I'm taking names. I'm asking them if their body cam is on, and I'm gonna go through the situation. And if I truly felt like my rights were violated, I'll contact my lawyer. I want to know why she didn't get out the vehicle. It's making it more complicated because the car did roll forward. So to him, we're just thinking about law. To him, he could have said that he felt like his life was in danger, that she could have just floored it and hit him. It's going to be a complicated case. It's going to be a complicated case. Let's keep going.
A video shows Young sitting in her car when Grubb fired a single shot through the windshield as Young's vehicle began to roll forward. Prosecutors claim.
Do I think he could have just got out the way? Yes, I do think the officer could have just gotten out the way. It doesn't look like she was trying to hit him. No, it looks like, see how she turned the wheel? She turned the wheel to go around him. At least that's my thinking. If you see something different, tell me. It's a crazy situation. Absolutely crazy. Let's keep going.
Grubb's actions were unnecessary and unreasonable, saying Young was not an immediate threat.
I truly think he could have gotten out the way. I don't think it doesn't look like she immediately, like she tried to move the vehicle to hit him and floor it. She tried to go slow, but it's what the jury has to decide if it's reasonable that he felt danger for his life. So we'll just have to wait for what the jury think. It's a crazy situation. Absolute crazy situation. Let's get over into the article so we can learn a little bit more about this situation. Learn a little bit more about it. So let me zoom in some so everybody can see. So, murder trial underway for the officer. So, Officer Connor Grubb of Brendan Township is charged in killing Kalmaegi Young in August 2023. Wednesday saw a crowded gallery and emotional start inside of Franklin County courthouse for a National Watch case. Connor Grubb was a coward that day. He feared was unnecessary and he does not deserve to be a police officer. After police accused Young of stealing liquor, did she steal it? I want to know, did she steal the liquor? I would like to not think she did because she was 7 months pregnant, or she could have been so we just have to wait. I don't know if they'll have to go into that detail. Did she actually steal it? And was she the reason she was trying to get away without just listening to what the officers say and let them do their normal search? Because if she didn't steal it, what's the wrong? Like, yes, you don't want to feel like you're a thief or anything like that. But like I said, I'm going to go through it, and if I feel like my rights were violated, I'm going to have a civil case on my hands. So I would just let my lawyer handle it. So I would have just dealt with it. Here, are you profiling me? Blah, blah, blah. Here you go. No, I didn't steal any liquor. But after the police accused Young of stealing, Grubb shot and killed the 20-year-old who was 7 months pregnant outside of Kroger. Body cam video shows Young was sitting in her car when Grubb fired a single shot through the windshield as her vehicle rolled forward. Prosecutors argue that Grubb's conduct was unjustified, claiming that Young wasn't in instant danger. The evidence shows that she was not running over the officer with her vehicle and that the shot fired by the defendant was utterly unnecessary to defend himself. Like I said, it didn't look like to me that she was trying to hit him. So my thoughts would have been I would have jumped out the way. But I don't know what was going through his mind. I can only say what I'm thinking in that situation based on the body cam footage. The evidence shows that she was not running over the officer. So the defense presented body cam footage to the jury, claiming Grubb faced a split-second life or death choice when Young's car advanced. It didn't look like it was that dire to me. But like I've said, I wasn't in that situation. Young's car clearly a deadly weapon of 30,500 pounds. Connor believed his life and other lives were in danger for serious physical harm. Following the opening statement, the jury went to the parking lot to see where the incident took place. The courtroom where the Young family waited silently. Her grandmother said it was challenging. He was the immediate threat. Absolutely crazy. So he's charged with first-degree murder, involuntary manslaughter, and felonious assault for the shooting of Young, causing her death and the death of her unborn child. So she was accused of shoplifting. By noon, the attorney interviewed more than 20 potential jurors. Out of the jury pool of about 90, the juror was given questionnaires prior to these interviews with questions about the jurors' prior knowledge of the case, their beliefs, and more. Both the defense team and the prosecution picked out responses they wanted to further inquire about. Most of the follow-up questions focused on whether the jurors had a close relationship with police officers, if they had biases because of race or gender, if they seen the news coverage of the case, their thoughts on Black Lives Matter or Blue Lives Matter, whether they believe that they have the right to defend themselves, if they could put aside the opinion to follow the law, or an opinion or potential job conflict or travel plans. About half of the early set of jurors said that they've seen the news coverage of the case since the Young was shot in 2023. Both teams of lawyers consistently cautions the jurors that they would have to base their decisions on the facts presented in the courtroom and not what they've seen or have seen in the news. The attorney and the prosecutors agreed to dismiss a couple jurors because they had prior commitments and travel plans prior to the trial. One man was also dismissed after he expressed strongly held religious beliefs against killing another person. The two teams of lawyers sparred at times after one juror left the room. Once it was after a black juror was hesitant to take part in the trial because he just started a new job. Collins and the defense team were in favor of dismissing him, but the Claypool and the prosecution disagreed. Claypool said the juror pool didn't have a large number of non-white people. The special prosecution objected to the white juror, who was a veteran. The man said that he struggled with chronic pain and arthritis if he sat too long. Collins questioned when they objected to the man. Before the trial can begin, the defense and the prosecution had to agree to a team of 12 jurors and the team of alternates. The trial is expected 3 weeks. So the trial is starting now. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Y'all let me know your thoughts on that situation. We just have to wait to see what more evidence comes out. I don't think that he should have felt any danger. I think he could have easily got out of the way. It didn't look like she was aiming. She looks like she was turning the wheel, trying to go slowly and just get out of the way and leave. She was trying to flee the situation, of course. So she should have been charged with fleeing detainment, fleeing arrest, whatever she was trying to do. I do want to know why she didn't get out the car and just follow orders. At the end of the day, like I always feel, just follow the orders. If your rights are being violated, follow the orders and don't fight, because you're going to get your head cracked in. But the main thing is just follow orders and contact your lawyers. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Absolutely crazy. Let me know your thoughts on that situation. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. It's a crazy case. I want to see what is going to bring through and what he's going to get charged. So we will keep up with this. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Let me know if your thoughts. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. But that is the end of the show, y'all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for whoever watched now. Thank you for watching later. Let's see. We got some people in the comments. Thank you for commenting. To Combs. I might be saying that name wrong. Thank you for commenting. Yeah, it's a crazy world we live in. It's an absolute crazy world we live in, but we got to review the world together. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. There's a lot of things we covered today. A lot of crazy things. Remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you can be up to date on all the videos I drop. Like I've said before, I'm debating probably starting in December. I might do Monday through Friday for an hour live streams. I change it up and it'll probably be like 6 to 7. That's what I'm debating about. 6 to 7 at night. And then just stream every Monday through Friday. I will let y'all know what I'm thinking, but that's what I'm thinking moving forward, because there's a lot of news we got to cover. A lot of things we got to review together. And it'd just be best if I can just go through it every single day, so I can be up to date, so everybody can be up to date and all my subscribers can be up to date on what's happening. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on anything we talked about. But you already know these videos will be broken down, so you can go back and watch the video you want. It's a crazy world, y'all. We got to review the world together, but I already know I got to play the outro. That's it for now. Thank you for watching. Peace.